Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you could be here with me today. I wanted to film a video about my plans for reading in 2021. Since we're getting close to the end of the year, I figured this was a good spot to talk about what I've got planned. Now, I'm keeping this really loose. I learned this year that I really have to keep my reading goals tentative because things come up, my mood changes, and I just don't always want to read the books that I planned on reading at the end of the day. So for this year's TBR, I missed a lot of books. Well, maybe not a lot, but I missed quite a few just because it's gotten close to the end of the year and I didn't nearly accomplish all that I wanted to read. So for next year, I'm keeping it pretty loose. I have some general goals that I want to hit, and a few maybes that I'm hoping to get to as well. But all in all, I'm keeping it pretty easy on myself while still having a lot of books to get through. And maybe you're thinking, oh, Chaz, that's not easy. What are you talking about? Yeah, maybe it isn't. We'll see. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess, right? So make sure if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button right now so that you don't miss out on my future content. And as you're going through the video, if you find that you're really enjoying my content, slap a like as well. I'd really appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. The first part of 2021, I am devoting myself to finishing the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I read the first book, the 5th season, this year, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just a fantastic read, and so I want to finish the trilogy next year. So that's going to be my goal for starting out 2021. I'm going to focus January on reading the Broken Earth trilogy and getting it finished. My next goal for 2021 is to finish my read through of the Sandman graphic novels. This is just a fantastic graphic novel series by Neil Gaiman, and I'm so excited to get through the rest of it. So those are pretty easy to read. I can almost guarantee you that I will finish those because graphic novels are really easy to read. It's visual as well as written out, and so those two elements combined make it a really quick, easy read, and it's really fascinating and engaging. So I want to make sure and finish those because I know the Sandman TV series on Netflix is going to be coming out soon. Maybe even as early as next year, but I don't really think so. With all the COVID delays, I think it'll probably be 2022, but we'll see. It'd be cool to see something from Sandman come next year. So I'm definitely wanting to finish reading the Sandman graphic novels. The next two plans on my list are rereads. I want to reread Dune, because that is coming to HBO Max and to theaters sometime in 2021. It got a release date for October 21 at this point, although they could bump it up sooner because they're looking to put it on HBO Max now. So I want to make sure and reread the book so that I can be ready when the movie comes out, so I can critique it and do all my stern faces while I'm looking for mistakes. And no, I'm not that picky. It looks really, really good, and I'm sure I'll be impressed. But yes, I'm going to reread Dune, and I've been wanting to reread Ocean at the End of the Lane for a quick minute here. So that's very much on the top of my list as well. And I have the illustrated edition of Ocean at the End of the Lane now, so I'm going to sit down with my picture book and just enjoy the story again. And who knows, I may even turn on the audiobook so Neil Gaiman can read it to me, because I do have the audiobook version as well. So I might do that. Yeah, we shall see. I may do the full experience. And then in general, in 2021, I want to read more Neil Gaiman. There are not many of his books that I haven't read, but there are a few. So I want to make sure and get to those, like Anansi Boys and Fragile Things and Smoke and Mirrors, some of his short story compendiums. So I'm planning to get to those next year. I might even read Coraline because I haven't actually read the book. I've only seen the movie. So I'm very excited to be reading more Neil Gaiman next year. And then I also want to read more Dresden Files. I have no plans to finish the series. If I just get into a huge bout of power reading, I may be able to finish the Dresden Files, but I don't think so, and I'm not going to push myself. But I definitely want to read more Dresden Files. I read the first 4 books, and so I'm going to try and get more of the Dresden Files read. And I'm also going to read more of the Dark Tower. In fact, I might even finish the Dark Tower. I'm not going to hold myself to it, but I'm going to do my best. I really do want to finish the Dark Tower and get through the story and move on to other things. I'm really loving the Dark Tower series. So the next book on my list is Wizard and Glass from the Dark Tower. So we will see how that goes over. And then the next series I want to read more of, and hopefully maybe even finish it, would be the Deathgate Cycle. I had a goal this year of finishing the Deathgate Cycle, and I didn't. So, like I said before, that's why I'm putting all these down as tentative, because I want to make sure that I don't set myself up for disappointment, but I'm going to try really, really hard to get through most of these. So, Deathgate Cycle is right there on that list. If I finish it, great. If not, at least I'm going to get a good chunk more into it. And then there's several books that I want to read, and these are book 1 in each of these series. So they're new series for me that I haven't started yet. The first one would be Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I've been wanting to read that one for quite a while now, and I thought maybe I would get to it this year. Maybe it would replace something else on my TBR for 2020, and it didn't. The year got away from me. So, I'm going to put that on my reading goals for 2021, and hopefully I will get to that one. I'm going to make a really strong concerted effort to get to that book. And another one is Jade City, the first book in the Greenbone saga by Fonda Lee. I've heard so many good things about it, and I want to be able to get into that series and see what I think of it. And I've heard the magic system is just really fantastic. So my goal is to get to the first book in that series as well. I also want to read Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I've only read one book from Naomi Novik in the past, and I DNF'd it. That was Temeraire in the His Majesty's Dragon. It's in the Temeraire series. Was not a fan, but I've heard Uprooted is really, really good. So I'm going to hopefully get to that one this next year. And then the next 2 books are in the same series, and that would be Sword of Destiny and Blood of Elves. Both of those are in the Witcher series, and I read the first book, The Last Wish, so I'm hoping to get to those next 2 books sometime in 2021 as well, because I want to be prepared for when season 2 of The Witcher comes out. Looking back, I probably should have read Sword of Destiny and maybe Blood of Elves by the time the first season came out, because there were aspects of the series that were in season 1. So I probably should have done that, but I didn't. So I want to be well prepared this time around. So those are high up on this list for 2021. Those are going to be somewhat of a priority for me as well, to make sure I get those 2 read. And then I also want to read more self-published authors in 2021. I have read several already, but it's been a long time. It's in the past, and I want to refresh myself. I want to go through some of them again and read some of the new ones by my favorite authors, some of which are Jesse Teller and Dirk Ashton and Michael R. Fletcher. There's so much good self-published fantasy out there, and I want to see if I can knock some of that out in 2021. And if I get around to it, so these are strong maybes for me. If I get around to it, I plan to start the Expanse series and possibly, just possibly, the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Maybe. I read the first book in Malazan Book of the Fallen, but it's been at least 2 years, probably longer than that, and I've kind of forgotten most of what happened in it. And from what I understand, when you read Malazan, you can't be forgetting stuff that happened in the previous books. So I'm going to go back and reread the first book and then move on and hopefully knock out some more books in the series. But that likely will not happen in 2021. It might. I'm putting in a slight sliver of hope, but I don't really think it's going to happen. The Expanse is maybe more likely, but probably not Malazan, whatever you call it. I don't know. You know what you call it. I call it something else. I call it different things at different times, I guess. I don't know. But so that is my plans for 2021, and it is very ambitious. It's pretty much as ambitious as my reading goals were for this year. But I'm giving myself a lot more flexibility. So we will see how things go. And I'm leaving an opening for things to change on this as well. I might tweak some things. I might add some different books in that are not on this list. I might take some of these out and just not read half of the ones I planned. Who knows? The future is open and changeable, and I try to be changeable as well, because I find out if I don't plan to be changeable, I end up being changed anyway. So I find that I really have to watch myself to make sure that I'm going to be in a mood to read the books that I want to read. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have read any of these books, if some of these books are on your goals list for 2021, I would be thrilled to dialogue with you in the comments about what your goals are as well. And if you are a YouTuber and you've made a goals video for 2021, leave me the link in the comments. Feel free to self-promote yourself in my comments. I will gladly check out your video and see what it's all about. So that's that. That takes care of my list for 2021 for my reading goals. And now, quickly, I want to let you know what's coming up in the near future. I had said in a previous video that I had a goal for the end of the year to read the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, and I have made a decent dent in it. I'm not quite where I want to be at this point in the month of December, but I'm working slowly toward that goal, and I'm hoping I am not going to have to stay up till all hours one night reading the whole trilogy and end up killing myself by lack of sleep. So I don't think that's going to happen, but it almost did with Rhythm of War. I came this close to just keeling over, and I'm like, oh God, I'm not dead. Just shoot me now. And I finally made it through, though, and I'm so glad I did. So you can check out my video for Rhythm of War if you have not already. Link below and link in the cards at the end. And make sure you're tuned into my videos. You can check the description below to find out more details about me and other places you can find me. And I hope you will continue to watch and support my channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Oh, and make sure that you are reading more books. Until we meet again, take care, guys. Bye.